Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Good evening. I know it has been about a month since I have actually gone live on a Monday. I have been going live just usually on a Tuesday instead of Monday. But here I am. Welcome to another week with me, Shana E. I am the founder and lead consultant with TREP Consulting. And I'm working on my tagline. So I'm working on my tagline, so I can't just hit you with that off the top of my head because I am in the midst of planning out next steps and pivoting and ideal clients and all of that, right? And so, one thing I want you to know is when I'm talking to you about business, I am implementing things myself. I've done these things, I've helped people do these things, I've walked other entrepreneurs, self employed people, business owners to do these things. I advise them to do these things. So I'm not just out here riddling off things to you that I'm not doing or practicing myself or have helped other people do, right? So that's the first disclaimer. I literally just decided what my topic was when I sat down and I opened up Ecamm. That's what I use to stream to these different platforms and channels. I was just coming here to talk and ramble, but I thought of something that I said a few weeks ago, maybe about a month or so ago, on a live. And so I decided, let's talk about that. I could talk about that briefly. So, for those of you who do not know me, I am Shana Edgecombe. I go by Shana E. I am an ASMEC, an accredited small and medium enterprise consultant, an accredited SME consultant, but I spell out the SME for you. I have years of experience when it comes to working with small businesses, advising small businesses. I've worked with small businesses and in small businesses in various ways in the capacity of marketing, um, pricing, positioning, project management. I have a whole lot of different experiences. My career in with jobs has spanned between the Nassau Airport Development Company to the Inter-American Development Bank to the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation to Wildflowers to the Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center as a consultant for an IDB project. Okay, so I have a breadth of knowledge. That's just career. That's not like clientele for TREP consulting. Okay, that's separate and apart from that. I also have had the privilege of working with some great programs as a facilitator, the Canoe Innovation Hub, the Academy of Women Entrepreneurs with the U.S. Embassy, the Bridge program conducted for the Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center, the Royal Caribbean Kickstarter program with Royal Caribbean and SPDC. So I've done various different things. I'm also a pitch coach, so I help people prepare to pitch, primarily for funding or for investors. Sometimes both, right? Funding could be loan or grant. Investors could be loan or partner, okay, or equity, things like that. So I'm not going to be here long tonight, I promise, in part because I'm dragging a bit. I feel like I'm dragging, and so I also have an 8 o'clock. But I want to get into it really quickly and talk to you tonight about um, tools, right? And I had a topic. I'm not sure why the topic isn't showing, but the topic was basically how to use tools to build your team, okay? And that's something that I thought of, that I said, like I said, a month ago. And so I want to get into it, right? Because let's be honest, as a person who runs a business, you are likely, when you're starting running the business by yourself, okay? There is no team. You are the team. When you're talking about they, we, our, you're more than likely talking about yourself, right? And while that is normal, the reality is in order for you to expand and be able to take on more work or be able to make more money, even to charge more sometimes, you need to build out a team. And so it's very, 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 very important that if you don't have the capacity, whether it's the money to hire at least one other person in your business to work for the business, or you don't have the capacity to train someone to take on some things in your business, or you don't have the ability to find partnerships right now, what you need to do then is look at tools, look at AI, and consider how can AI help you. I'm just sharing out this link right now, and you can do the same. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, how can AI help you? How can tools help you? I have had calls, and one of the things that I have pivoted to in talking over things with clients and being in group coaching sessions is, what are the tools that we can identify for you to use to make it easier to run your business? So one of the things that I would suggest that you do, first of all, is you map out every single step in your business. I know that may sound tedious. I know that that doesn't sound like fun, but there's a reason for that, right? One, you map out every single process in your business, and you don't have to go into detail. It's just what does the client journey look like, from how do they find you to try to buy from you to the end when they have given you their money and you have delivered whatever it is. And maybe you have some aftercare or some type of support that happens after that. Everyone doesn't have it. It may not apply to you, right? And then on the back end, what does it take for you to what does it take for you to create that product and service, to promote that product and service, to get that product and service in front of people, to deliver that product and service to people, and then if you have some type of support or aftercare, right? Write out those things, because it's really important that you then get to look at all those parts and say, okay, what tool or tools can I use that will help me automate these things? Again, y'all, when we're running businesses as sole proprietors, it's very important that we remember that we have limited energy. Okay, we have very limited energy. I don't know about y'all, but I need to sleep. The sleep hustle culture, the I'll sleep when I'm dead, the yeah, it could put you in the grave sooner. Yeah, we need to sleep. Science says we need to sleep. Y'all, listen, the human body is amazing. The brain in itself is amazinger, okay? That's not a word. I just made it up. Don't judge me. The brain in itself is amazing. And one of the things that the brain does when we're sleeping, if we get enough sleep, when we're sleeping, is spinal fluid actually washes over our brains. It's cleaning our brains. Our brains need to be cleaned. That happens while we sleep. That means for those of you, if you're somebody who believes that you don't need to sleep, your brain is suffering, okay? Be mindful of that. Let me get back down off my high horse. So what I'm saying is that you can't be everything or everywhere all at once, especially if you are someone who has a job as well. So you're running a business or your side hustle, you may not have considered it a business yet or set it up as a business yet, but you also have your job. Then of course you have your life. You may have your family, your children, your relationship, your whoever else, right? Whatever else, your leisure time, your self-care time, whatever it is. You could have a really full life. And so here it is now. Imagine that you're doing everything manually. And this is me looking at y'all who are still manually putting together invoices. All I heard was Cat Williams playing in my head just now. You have an unnatural allegiance to losers. I'm not calling you a loser, but I'm saying that you're making your life so much harder, right? But I'm going to go into that. I'm going to get into that. But y'all need to stop it. There are so many tools, free and paid, that you don't need to be manually creating invoices and tracking things in a spreadsheet. That's wild. That's giving 1990 something. That's giving early 2000s. We are in 2024, okay? Stop it. I will give you examples later on of what you can use to set up accounting software, to set up invoicing, and it'll make your life easier. You have to duplicate yourself in your business. And the best way to do that, if you're not going to hire someone, is you need to implement tools, okay? So some of you may need, like for me, I use HoneyBook. HoneyBook, there's different variations of HoneyBook. There's so many options, right? I happen to use HoneyBook. There's Dove Saddle, there's 17 Hats, there's so many other things, right? Literally, you can Google search best CRM system, client relationship management. For me, I used HoneyBook initially like 2 years ago, but I didn't have the number of clientele that I felt it made sense that I should be paying for that service, right? So now I have the flow of clients where it makes sense. And then HoneyBook also has like a lower tier option now as well, where it's like $19. And then I think the higher tier is $39. And then I don't know if they have a tier above that. Okay. So now I will take my $19. In fact, with certain things, I'm about to bump up, take my $39 a month because it is awesome for what I needed to do, right? So listen, this is what it does. And pay attention to see if you need some of these things done. For me, I use HoneyBook for my floral business, right? And so in the floral business, what I have is someone makes an inquiry through my website. I manually enter that information into HoneyBook. Now, if I were paying the $39 for HoneyBook, I could create an automation between Zapier or Zapier, however, Zapier, between Zapier, whichever, and then automatically Zapier would set it up to create a client file in HoneyBook. But right now, because I'm using the lower tier option, I just manually transfer quickly that information from my website inquiry, which is also captured in a spreadsheet in the back end of my website, and I manually put that into HoneyBook. Immediately then I create a client profile, right? And when I create a client profile in HoneyBook, that is something that I can then share with the client with an access link. I can create, now HoneyBook has templates. So I have customized the templates to use for myself. So when I'm sending out a proposal, I am able to put in prices, I'm able to put in inspiration photos, I'm even able to put in a brochure, and then they can click and add the services that they want, and it will give them the pricing, all of the details, and then they can also say what else they want me to do that maybe I don't have listed there, right? And then it'll take them to a contract. And in the contract, this is a contract that was created, it's legally binding, that both myself and the client need to sign, right? All of this again, y'all, I set this up one time based on or with the help of the templates that were already in HoneyBook. Of course, I adapted the contract to what I needed it to be. Okay, that's HoneyBook is American and Canadian, so you're gonna have to adapt it a bit language-wise, right? I don't suggest that you just take what it has because it may not apply here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas or wherever you are in the world. Okay, so be mindful of that. And so what HoneyBook allows is e-signature, and then I can shoot it off via email to the client. Now, if I were in Canada or if I was in the US, then I could allow them to go on to the third step, which is they could pay me through an American bank account. but I don't have that set up. Now I do have US bank accounts, but I just don't have it linked. Okay, I don't have it linked. So what I then do is Honeybook emails the client. Everything is through the portal, right? Honeybook even has email templates, okay? And then I can send it off to the client. They get a link saying, hey, your proposal is ready, blah, 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 and they can view it. They have their own unique link. They cannot see any other client who is in my portal. And Honeybook also tracks email exchanges so that I don't have to go back manually through my work email trying to see, okay, what did we talk about here and there? I can immediately go into Honeybook and I can see the full thread of our conversation. I can attach photos and they can see the photos and I can see the photos. There's so many things that can happen. Internally, I can track it as, okay, proposal sent. It'll change it. Proposal sent. Okay. I can mark payments if a person made a payment. So then it changes to retainer paid. Then I could change it to ordering flowers. Then I could change it to planning. Then I could change it to completed. Then I can archive it, which means it'll keep all the information. It's just not showing up in my dashboard of current weddings or events that I have. I say all that to say, some of you need to look into a Honeybook, a Dubsado, a 17 Hats. Some of you need to look into a client relationship management system, a CRM, because you're doing everything manually and it's killing you. Whether it be that you're not a process person and you have to do the processes, or it's just taking too much time, especially if you're having to do it for multiple people. I highly recommend Honeybook, okay? If you want my affiliate link, I'll send it to you, okay? Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Y'all, moving on. In 2024, we should be building an email list, okay? We have already seen how the world and ourselves have lost our minds when Instagram goes down, when Facebook goes down. And y'all, if Instagram or Facebook goes down, the other one goes down because they are both owned by Meta, okay? So be mindful too that if you have if people can only access you and you can only access people through social media, you are essentially allowing those channels to hold you hostage. There are so many creators who have been demonetized by YouTube, who have gotten locked out of their social media accounts, their Instagram accounts, their Facebook accounts, their Twitter accounts. They have been locked out and I've had to start over. I literally just had a conversation with someone on Friday about the fact that they lost their business page, and those were things on there that they had since like the 2000s, and they lost everything, okay? Y'all, Facebook, Instagram, I would even dare to say Twitter, have no customer service. Y'all hear me? They have no customers. Ain't no one to talk to about getting your account back. There's no one to talk to if you get your account hacked, if you get locked out of your account. Some of y'all don't have your work backed up anyplace else but your social media account. So if you get hacked, if your page gets taken down or wiped, you have nothing to show your work for the last however many years, because all of your videos, all of your photos are on your social media account. Stop it. Stop it. Get a Dropbox. Get a Google Drive if you need to. Pay the extra fees. If you have G Suite, you already have Google Drive and a certain amount of storage that comes with it. Okay, if you're paying for G Suite, that's a professional Gmail. Okay, use it. Back up your stuff. Very, very important. Back up your stuff. Now, I could say that. And there are certain things that are on this computer, y'all, that I need to back up in my Google Drive, 100%. But I'm talking about if your social media goes down, back up your stuff. One of the ways that I started backing up my lives is through Ecamm, right? So Ecamm, as we speak, while I am streaming to my personal page on Facebook, my business page on Facebook, I'm also right now streaming to YouTube, and this video will be private and unlisted until I decide to make it public, right? But I have a backup. Most of my videos from last year, I haven't gotten to back them up yet, okay? Um, now, don't frig around. I'm not setting myself up for anybody to try to do some stuff. I'm just saying that had I thought about it from earlier last year, I would have automatically had all like 50 plus of my videos backed up on my YouTube channel, okay? So I'm telling you, this is the lesson I learned, and I'm telling you because it's going to take time for me now to manually download my videos from social media, from Facebook, to put them on YouTube. But I am going to do it because it's important. Let's talk about AI because ChatGPT is here to stay. I love a ChatGPT. Okay, I pay for ChatGPT 4.0. I love it. There's another one I used too. I have not. What's it called? It's another one that I use, and I kind of cross the two together that I just started using. I can't remember what it's named, but it is popular as well, but it's not popular like ChatGPT, right? It's the Microsoft version of ChatGPT. So just type that in, Microsoft version of ChatGPT, and it'll come up. So, y'all, one of the important things that you have to do is you need to learn how to get better at prompting your GPTs, right? You need to get better at putting in prompts because clearly some of you only know that you should put in, let's say for example, I run a nail salon. I need to create a content calendar for 30 days. Create 30 posts for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And ChatGPT will give you some of the most generic stuff ever because you are not specific. Versus you saying, I am a nail salon, nail tech based in blah, blah, blah. My clientele consists of women who make X amount of money. They enjoy luxurious things. They enjoy fine dining. They come to the salon to relax and to chat, and it's a form of therapy. I need 30 days of content to get more clients to book, get more new clients to book appointments. Create engaging social media content for Instagram, for Facebook, and use AI to give me examples of images to go with the text. Y'all see how detailed I was just now? Instead of I need 30 social media posts, I'm a nail salon. Please, man. Please put in details. Because you cannot expect that if you were sitting and talking with a human being and you wanted a human being to create a 30-day social media content calendar and all you're going to tell them is, I need 30 days of posts. I'm a nail salon owner. And you think that that would be sufficient. You cannot think that that would be sufficient to give to a human. So imagine it's not going to be sufficient to give to a computer who literally has every accessible piece of information public on the public domain, has access to it up to a certain year, right? Up to a certain point in time, and expect that it's going to give you great results, and you've just given it the most generic information. Okay, And then stop being lazy when you get the prompts, and then make them your own. Y'all hear me? Just because you're using tools, just because you're using AI, don't be lazy. Now, I know some people feel like AI makes us lazy. Yes, it does make some of us lazy. I know some people feel like AI is cheating. Yes, technically, if you're going to use it in a certain way, particularly if you don't know what you're doing, but you're making it seem like you know what you're talking about by using AI, absolutely you're cheating. But the reality is, it's here to stay. AI can be scary, but AI is not new. If you think that AI is new, I want you to know that the spell check in Microsoft Word that we've been using for years and Word Perfect, that is an earlier form of AI. Just letting you know. Okay? So we've been using AI, but this is such an advanced model of it. If you're looking for images, like if you're someone who needs images, like unique images created, and you're not necessarily artistic and you can't necessarily afford to pay someone to create custom images for you, you can go to DALL-E, DALL-E, or DALL-E. You can use DALL-E. You can use Midjourney to create images for you. But again, you have to put in good prompts. You have to put in descriptive information. You can't just ask it, oh, I need a photo of a black woman. Okay, well, so what? If you're looking for, you need a photo with a black woman who is Afrocentric, who is into, who is wearing gold jewelry and has her hair up in a big puff. I'm just describing myself. I'm just saying. If you wanted to wear a particular lipstick color, put in the lipstick color. It will give you so much better prompts and images if you give detailed information. Okay? Be mindful of that as well. I didn't finish my thought with email marketing. You need to be creating an email list. Okay? So, from moving forward from now, you're selling something, ask people for their emails and ask people for their telephone numbers. We are moving in a direction where phone marketing is going to get so much better. Right now, SMS mass, what am I trying to say? Mass messaging with SMS is in, I would say, more of the infancy stage. Like, yes, we use a lot of WhatsApp, but for the most part here in the Bahamas, we don't necessarily have a digital service. That we do have one, which is Chemist. um, Chemist Digital Marketing Agency. We do have one, but other than that, for the most part, if we're going to use texting and WhatsApp, we do it manually, right? But get telephone numbers. There are a lot of places in the US, like if you're signing up for something, they ask for your telephone number and they will then add you to their SMS list, right? And their tags, and they will email you and they will text you and they will text you and they will text you. Ask people for the telephone number and ask people for their emails. And then don't just leave it on a piece of paper or in a spreadsheet. Take it somewhere else, like a MailChimp. Take it to a Flow Desk. Take it to a ConvertKit or a MailerLite. There's so many different email places that you can use, right? Use them. Even if you don't immediately start emailing people, at least you would have started building your list. Your list is going to help create money because those people have already interacted with you. They've already engaged with you. They already had some type of exposure with you, right? Versus you're trying to get the attention of strangers. These people already know you. They've already interacted with you in some way where they felt like it was worth it enough to buy from you. Hence, you have their information, or get something free from you. Hence, they gave you their information, right? So be mindful of that as well. Like it's a bit easier to sell to a warm lead or a warmer lead, which is someone who's already bought from you or given you their information, versus a cold lead, right? Which is like someone who's scrolling and you hoping that your ad will stop them and that they will actually click on your ad. Yeah, that's different. That's a cold lead. Okay. Another system or tool that I definitely recommend that you should have would be, learn how to do basic graphics if you're not able to pay for them yourself. Or, sorry, to pay someone else to do them. Canva, highly recommend. Back in the day, I wanted to learn Photoshop, and then I was like, no, and y'all, I've been using Canva since 2015. I've been using Canva for about 9 years. I've seen the progression of it and it's been amazing. Canva is boo and bae, okay? It really is. It's boo and bae for me. I'm not ever going to quit Canva as much as I can. Even if I have someone else who's doing what it is that I need designed, a lot of the stuff would probably still end up being designed in Canva so that they can be edited easily by myself or somebody else who's part of the team, right? Because it has such a low learning curve compared to Photoshop and I can't even remember the other ones, Illustrator and all of those, right? So, and Canva has a lot of templates inside of Canva itself, or you can buy templates as well. So you don't have to pay for Canva. You can use the free version. It does have limitations, but it can also do some good things even though it's free. Like the paid version will allow you to do magic resize, for example. I can't tell you what else the differences are because I've been paying for Canva probably since 2015. So I can't tell you what the difference is and, if it's free versus the paid version. But definitely you need to have some graphics done. Even if you just pay initially for someone to create the different types of graphics that you need, and then you just go in and edit them yourself and you don't have to create anything, I think that would be advantageous as well. We are in a society where we're very visual, right? And so a photo or a video, which Canva also does, can create a really good story. And then for those of you who even need a website, right? And you're not at the point of paying for a domain, paying for someone to develop or design the website, paying for it to be hosted and all of that, what you can do is use Canva for a website landing page or for a quick website. Again, Canva will allow you to edit every single part of that website. They have good templates, very good templates that you can use. So use it, try it out, test it. If you're someone who's saying, I need a website, there's no reason why, if you feel you need a website in 2024, that you cannot have a website for a good price. Canva is free. Now, let me take that back. You may have to do the paid version of Canva in order to do the websites. And Canva is $12.95 a month. It'll be one of the best $12.95 that you spend all month. I promise you. I promise you. Another thing is, what other tools would I suggest that you have? This was, let me go back as I wrap up. Let me go back to what I was talking about in the beginning, which is stop using manual spreadsheets for your financials and your invoicing. Y'all, there's Xero, there is Zoho Books, there's QuickBooks, there's FreshBooks, there's other books. I can't think of anything else right now. I just gave you like 4 or 5, right? I use Wave. Disclaimer, Wave is not opening any more accounts. They stopped it like a year or 2 ago. So now they only support people who are in the US, Canada, maybe the UK, but I think it's just the US and Canada. They're not opening any more accounts. They're not allowing anyone else to create new accounts. I've been using Wave since like 2016, 17, okay? 2017, 18, I should say. So I'm in here, right? And I'm not going anywhere because in part, it has my historical information, right? And I would have to transfer all of that over. Although Wave was gracious enough that they said, if you were a client of theirs, you could get a free year with zero. I think it was XERO with zero. But I went over, I opened an account, and I was like, I'm not starting over. My Wave still works. They haven't locked me out yet. I will cross that bridge when I get there. But I say all that to say, what these types of software allow you to do is you set up an invoice template one time with your logo, with your business information, with your little disclaimers at the bottom, whatever it is, however you want the information to be displayed with your products, the quantity, the percentage discount, the tax, whatever it is, and then the total. Okay, so all you have to do is put in a couple of things, whatever the client is buying, and then boom, it already automatically creates an invoice number. You can edit it to put in when the quote or the invoice expires, when payment is due. You can change all of those things, and then boom, you send an email to the person, because you do have to add them in as a customer. And then even some of them will allow you to see when someone opened your invoice. So the person can't say, I never got the invoice, I never got the quote. No, because according to my software, you opened it last night at 7:59. Email in a spreadsheet can't do that, boo. Same with Honeybook, which I love, which is I can tell when someone opened an email. I can tell when they opened an invoice. It has a timestamp. My clients probably don't know that, but it has a timestamp. So you don't gonna deny that you didn't see the proposal. I could tell you saw the proposal, you just didn't want to answer, right? That's different. No problem. But I'm just saying, it gives you more control and more information. Oh, this person saw it, they just didn't. Y'all, emailing a spreadsheet is not going to do that. Emailing a publisher thing that you created and drew and whatever, that don't even make sense anyway, me saying that. Anyway, we need to get out of this manual thing. And I don't care. Yes, you may say, well, it's just what I'm used to. Okay. And you may be someone who literally writes up receipts. Y'all, please stop. Please stop. Because you could write up a receipt and you can do an electronic version as well. Because what's going to happen is, if let's just say, you decide that you're going to apply for a grant, you're going to try to go to the bank for a business loan, you're going to try to go to the bank for a mortgage or a personal loan, something. Imagine you've been writing up receipts for the last, I don't know, 3, 4, 6, 8 years. And then they're like, we don't want to see your receipt book. We need your electronic financials. So what you can do, you could probably sit there and have a nervous breakdown, because your stuff is not electronic. Or you're going to have to go back through dozens, hundreds, thousands of spreadsheet or Word documents. I keep calling it spreadsheet, Excel or Word documents, trying to manually input all of those things because you refuse to use an invoicing software. That could take you weeks. Meanwhile, the bank is like, listen, you want the house or not? Because you won't produce your financials yet. And we don't want the hard copies. We want statements. And a great thing about these particular invoicing software is, once you put in, you can, if you want to, I suggest you do. I'm not as strict with this as I should be. But you can put in your expenses, or you may not want to, or may not care to. But then at any given moment, based on the dates that you choose, you can see how much money you made for the month, for the quarter, for the year. You can look at how much money you made in 2021, 2022, 23, 2024, and compare them all with a couple of clicks. You cannot do that with a Word document. Because some of y'all stress me out. When I'm working with y'all and I'm going over your numbers and I'm asking you about your accounting software and your processes, some of y'all stress me out because I'm literally here like, I can't get the information I need because everything is in a Word. This document over here, and you'd have to go through so many hundreds of documents, Word documents or Excel spreadsheets, trying to calculate how much money you made when you should be able to pull that up in accounting software. Anyway, let's try to end on a high note. I ain't touched my tea yet. Let's end on a high note. Some of y'all need someone to do an audit for you, to walk you through an audit of your business, to walk you through how do you go digital, right? Because we talk about going digital, and I'm a proponent of that. But you have to have an appreciation for where you are now so that you can take your processes and move them online. If you need help with that, I got you. I'm here for you. Book an ask me anything session, book a consultation with me, and then we can walk through it. And I will explain to you everything that you need. And I will show you examples because I don't believe in leading people into the wilderness and then I'll tell you I'll leave you there, right? I will show you examples. That's what I do for clients. When I say, hey, this is what you probably need, and let me show you an example of how this can transform your business. Y'all, use the tools. The tools are out there. Most of the tools are low cost. Most of the tools are, I can't say all of them are user friendly. You have to know how your mind works, right? For me, I am just now forcing myself to go into project management tools because in this way, probably the only way, I am a manual, let me write it out by hand and then let me put it on a calendar type of person. But because I'm working on things now that require other people to see them, be a part of them, give feedback, I have to set up my own project management tools. That's not to say that I'm not a part of other project management tools, right? But other people set them up. Other people assign me things. But for the most part, I don't have to be too involved. I'm now at the point where I have to figure out if I'm going to use Notion or Lark. I just heard about Lark, Lark, or if I'm going to go back into Milanote, which I really like because it's a visual, like I'm a very visual person. I'm not like a Gantt chart person. I'm not a big, I'm a checklist person. My brain doesn't care for Asana. My brain doesn't care for, there's another big one, not Asana, ClickUp. My brain don't care for none of them things. But the reality is, you know what I care about? Money. I care about making money. I care about providing a good customer experience. That's what I care about. I care about giving value. That's what I care about. So I'm going to have to get out of, I don't want to use a project management tool because my feelings don't matter. The clients do, like you. The money does. Secondary. My feelings don't matter. Your feelings don't matter if you don't care about having accounting software and good financials. Your feelings don't matter. You will regret it if you don't do it properly. You will regret it. You will regret not getting people's email addresses. You will regret not taking the time to put processes in place. You will regret it. Listen, the time is going to pass anyway. So just do what you got to do. We all have to do what we have to do, okay? I said I know I said I was going to end on a high note, and then this just turned into me being very stern with you. But it is what it is, right? Anyway, I hope you had fun. I hope you learned a bit. This wasn't an exhaustive tools list, but this was an overarching. These are the types of tools that, depending on your business needs, then they may work for you. You can inbox me if you have my WhatsApp number. Then you can ask me what type of tools you do I think you need. I will answer you. Maybe not in your time frame, but I will answer you. But if I feel like you need to have a whole consultation, like a sit down paid session with me, I will let you know that if I can't easily answer your question or you're asking me too many questions. Okay? You can also inbox me as well if you have questions about what it is that you need. I will either answer you um, with suggestions, or I will say, hey, we need to book a paid session because you have a lot of questions, I have a lot of answers, or I have more questions for you, right? And we need more time together than I can give you just going back and forth via messages. So, couple of things as I wrap up. One is Shift the Culture, powered by Arrowlink Ventures, is having pitch night this week, Thursday, at Crypto Isle from 6 to 9. Pitches start at 6:30. Networking is at 6. It's going to be amazing. You don't have to pitch to be in the room, but if you have an idea to pitch, definitely come through. We have an interesting format that we have tested, and it's been fun so far. But it is really good if you just want to get some energy, if you need some inspiration, if you need some feedback on an idea or a business, on a product or service. Get in the room. Crypto Isle is across the street from Scotia Bank on East Bay Street. The second thing is the SBDC is having a creative, what is it called? Creative Entrepreneurs Initiative or something like that. It is a grant program that they're doing right now. But there are some things, some steps that you have to follow in order to be eligible. Go do that. Some of y'all be complaining about the fact that you need funding and then you don't actually want to put in the work to get the funding. If that's you, keep your excuses to yourself. I'm just saying. Okay? And thirdly, if you found what I said valuable in any way, shape, or form, either here, now for your present circumstance, or in the future, please feel free to like this, to love this, and to share this out. Okay? Tag someone who needs to be tuned in and part of the conversation. I appreciate you as always. You could have been doing anything else in the whole world, but you decided to spend some time with me, and for that, I am always grateful. And I will see you next week. Bye.